Welcome back to the Scene Snobs Reviews, where we review new movies coming out each week and we give them our ratings 1 through 5. I checked out Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Now, if you watch or listen to my podcast, you know that I'm a big fan of Bruce Springsteen. His music was a big part of my life growing up, and that's always spoke to me. And when I heard that they were doing this movie and it was focusing on his album Nebraska, I was very excited for that because Nebraska is one that touches me personally. I think it's a fantastic, brooding, and brilliant piece of work that he put together at a time when he could have just been going through the hits, and I love it. And this is one that really was focused on in his book, which I love, and on his Springsteen on Broadway show. They talked about a lot of the music there and the stories that went with them and went in and out, and I'm telling you, I love it. I think it's fantastic. Now, with this movie, it does take its liberties. Everybody in it does a really fantastic job, but some seem more subdued than others. They have Paul Walter Hauser, but he feels very subdued. Jeremy Strong, another one. These are terrific actors who are going to bring brilliant performances every time you put them in something, but it felt like they were handcuffed a little bit, like we really weren't supposed to focus on them at all, but they seemed such a pivotal part of Bruce's life at that time, that because they didn't focus on those characters, they were just sort of, around Bruce, and mostly the focus was on him and what he was going through. I just felt like, it would have been better with more interaction, more dialogue and such between these characters. Maybe more intensity and feeling, like, you're going to get a lot of emotion. All the actors here are fantastic. His performance doesn't feel like you're watching Bruce. It feels like you're watching someone play the man, all of the emotion that you needed through this music. Like I don't know how to explain it. As he's kind of encapsulating Bruce Springsteen in this movie, it just, like, you kind of have an out-of-body experience if you're a fan. You're watching, you're like, he did such a great job. But overall, this felt like just sort of like a abridged version of what you get from Bruce's story if you know it. Again, with the book, his albums, his Broadway show, things like that, there's a lot to pull from. And there's a lot of moments that he really talks about that really meant a lot to me that I would have liked seen portrayed in the film that made sense. And they are in a way, but they really take their liberties with it and change it up, and it just didn't have the same weight. I wish that was the only thing I would say is my biggest argument about this movie. It just doesn't have the weight that I would expect from the story that I've heard before. So overall, I gave it a 3 out of 5. Again, I think the performances are the shining factor of this whole movie, and the fact that Jeremy Allen White did the singing with it and sounded so much like him really added to that. Odessa Young is in it. She does play a love interest named Faye in the movie, and she does a very good job, but I don't know how much of that is true or not true. But honestly, the whole love angle between Faye and Bruce just seemed very forced at the time. Didn't seem like a character that was there that added any real kind of gravitas or weight to the movie or brought something in. Just felt like they were sort of added to drive home a point about Bruce Springsteen himself and his mental health and what he was going through at the time. Now, Stephen Graham, who just came off Adolescence and did such an amazing job, plays Bruce's father in this, and I think it's fantastic. I wish we would have seen more of it. They didn't really push the element of the abuse that Bruce went through. They sort of touched down on it. The mother, played by Gabby Hoffman in the movie, she does a great job emoting to make you feel like that's how it was, but they don't really show enough. I think they needed to show it, and I think they needed to show more intensity coming from Bruce, in terms of his private life and what he was dealing with. It's just something that I felt like would have added more to the story, especially if you're taking your own liberties with it. But they did all such a great job. I want to watch this again. I thought it was fantastic. The cinematography was really good. It matched the gritty tone of what we know from Bruce Springsteen and who he is. So I love that aspect of it. Direction was really well done. The whole thing is put together well. My only issue is that I just don't feel like it touched down on the beats that were really important to the story. And so there, some certain points it kind of flounders, feels a little forced in certain areas. And I don't feel like they added enough for some pretty major heavy hitter and actors being a part of this movie. I don't feel like they got to flex their muscles enough. That's my overall review of Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. I really liked it. I thought they did a good job. I'm going to check it out again. If you have a chance to go check this out in theaters, I think if you're a Bruce Springsteen fan especially, you're going to enjoy it. If not, check it out when it comes out on streaming, but always let us know what you think in the comments. All right, guys, that's my review of Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. I'm also going to be doing Frankenstein's this week, so make sure you go check that out as well. You can also follow me on Letterboxd, where I have all my reviews on there, or Substack, at The Scene Snobs, which is also the handle for all of our social media platforms, so you can go follow us there if you want to as well. Please comment along and let me know how you felt about the movie. I'd love to hear it, or let me know how you did in the review. Thank you guys so much. Make sure to subscribe for more and hit that bell so you know when all the content's coming out. We have stuff coming out every day. We have a little bit of a break going on with our podcast right now, but we just did episode 400 for our Halloween special, and you can check that out. Thank you guys so much for being a part of it. The podcast will be back soon. Until next time, though, make sure to take care of yourselves. That's important. Be kind, rewind, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.